Hello, my name is Matthew Plow, and today I'm going to be presenting the fourth part of our presentation on the math section, and I will be discussing how new literacies can be incorporated into the math content classroom. In order to talk about incorporating new literacies into the math content classroom, first we have to be able to define what is literacy. Miners and Pascopola, in their article New Literacies, define literacy as the ability to read and make sense of written symbols in a variety of settings and subject areas, and then be able to locate information, evaluate it critically, synthesize it, and communicate it. This, therefore, goes outside of the bounds of the traditional textbook and the traditional classroom. We no longer can simply teach the way that we have been teaching. We need to evolve. We need to think outside of the box and the typical textbook, and how we can engage our students in a productive manner in order to increase the learning process. One of the ways that we as teachers can keep our students engaged and keep them focused in a non-traditional manner is through technology and electronics. Electronic literacy can be a very crucial helping hand for us teachers in the classroom. With the average attention span of students decreasing, the difficulty of keeping students focused from task to task, longer periods in school presents a difficult challenge. Students with classifications such as IEPs and 504s need certain accommodations, and electronic literacy helps us as teachers maintain focus throughout the classroom. The literacies which are presented in the classroom, as I stated before, need to expand beyond the traditional text. Technology in the math classroom can be very beneficial for learning. As stated on glencoe.com, technology is essential in teaching and learning mathematics. It influences the mathematics that is taught and enhances the student learnings. Things such as calculators, tablets, videos. We'll get more into videos on the next slide. But things, math games, tablets, using these electronics to keep the students engaged, not only for the students themselves to hold, but instructor use technology is very beneficial. With instructor use technology, there's the less prone of the technology not working, whereas with the student technology and park testing and things of that nature, the technology is more prone to not work the more that people use it. However, with instructor technology and putting things on the projector or playing a game as a class or showing a video in class, these are things that can be incorporated into the classroom and help the students firmer understand the material. One of the things that goes along with videos in the classroom and technology in the classroom is the idea of the flipped classroom. Using the flipped classroom, particularly in the math classroom, is very beneficial when done correctly. The idea of the flipped classroom is that at home, students are learning the material, and then while in school, they have the ability to practice and do their quote-unquote homework. What would be their homework and practice problems at home is now done in the class where the instructor's there and where the instructor is able to help. This is made possible by the technological literacies that are made available. Video clips for students, either from YouTube or created by the instructor, and the technology available to students. Students can watch the lesson the night before and therefore be able to the next day work on the problems and ask questions, and learning can be student-centered as opposed to curriculum or instructor-centered. In 2008, the University of Michigan assessed student learning with a flipped calculus classroom and found that students showed gains at about twice the rate of those in traditional lectures, and this was at the college level. This was at the level in which students already had a firm background knowledge of the material and a firm understanding of the content. By using the flipped classroom with students at a younger age and incorporating these things and allowing them the time to truly develop the content for themselves, it will be extremely beneficial. One of the main reasons why the incorporation of these new literacies in the content area classroom has proven so essential is the incorporation of the new Common Core state standards. Math Common Core state standards require greater focus by teachers and deeper knowledge by students than many previous state standards. The old textbooks simply aren't cutting it anymore. The old traditional classroom simply isn't cutting it anymore. As instructors for our students, we need to find new ways to engage our students, to teach our students, to enhance the background knowledge of our students. This goes along with the higher learning thinking as opposed to recall. The old questions and the old standards for mathematics were simply focused on the recall, on multiplication tables, on drill and kill, things of that nature. Standing up, I remember as a student standing up in Catholic school, in elementary school, and just going, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, and so on. That's no longer helping our students. Our students have evolved the same way that our country has evolved, the same way that our world has evolved. And due to this evolution, students need to think at a higher level. They need to create, they need to synthesize, they need to do these things where it's not simply remembering. They need to solve these equations. And in order to do that, these new literacies need to be put into place. Otherwise, it is going to be too big of a challenge for these students. As you see before you, these are my references. These are the articles in which that I referred to throughout my presentation. Once again, this has been the fourth segment of the overall presentation on the content area math classroom. The fifth and final segment of this presentation will focus on how can the literacy coach support content area teachers. And that will be the conclusion of our presentation. This segment has once again been presented to you by Matthew Plow for the content area literacy class at Rowan University. I hope that you enjoy the concluding act.